Hey, do you want to learn how to do some cool things with the sticker buttons in your stories? That's what this tutorial is about. How to insert them, how to use them, where to put them, and then a few hacks that elevate your engagement and get more people seeing and interacting with your stories. If you're into that, hit that like button, leave me a comment about what other story tutorials you want me to make for you. My name is Steph and I love helping network marketers further grow their influence and their profits using social media strategies that actually work. Let me pop on over to my phone and I'm going to show you how to insert them and the best place to put them physically in that vertical area of your story to get the most engagement.
Okay, so I'm going to pop up Facebook and create a story. And here you can see a lot of different options. I'm going to grab this one of me and Jakey. And my husband grabbed this picture the other day when Jake was sitting in my lap and I was typing an email. So I'm positioning it. You can use a couple of fingers to zoom in, out. You really want to make sure you're filling the full vertical space. Okay, that's the whole point of stories. Vertical picture first type of media here. And then let's go to the interactive sticker button. So to get there, I hit this sticker button at the top, and then I'm going to scroll down. You're going to see it gives me some avatar options. And here there is a heart, a flame, and a laughing face. And when you tap them, they do different things. So I think the most appropriate one for this is the heart because, you know, Jakey is cute. So one of the things to note when you're putting the sticker in, you really want to put it somewhere here at this area of the picture. It usually tends to do the best because this is where people are naturally tapping to move on to the next story. So I'm going to position, let's see if I switch him over to give myself a little more space. I'm going to put him right there. And so there you have it. So when people tap it, it's going to explode, give some hearts going out. I could do the same thing with the laughing face or the flame. And then I'm just going to write in a little word, helping mommy write emails. Let's take off, since it's kind of a dark background anyways. And then another little hack that I love to use for these, people don't always know to tap. Now you don't want to be too obnoxious with this. Let's find a good sticker. Okay. Let's write Vincent. I'm just positioning it. So that draws the eye to it just a little bit by giving it a little bit of motion, but it's not too obnoxious. And then all I'm gonna do is click the share to story button and then it's shared to my story. So I'm gonna go to my stories archive and I wanna show you guys some times where I'm using the interactive stickers because I don't really want to use the pull button all the time because that means I'm gonna be having to engage with people. And if I get 30 replies to a poll, then I don't always wanna do that, say like on a weekend. So here's an example where I use the flame interactive sticker button on a business type story to get engagement. And you're gonna see here I'm celebrating a lady in my Parisi Pack membership community, and she hit top 100 coaches in her network marketing business, and there's over 400,000 people. So it's really exciting. I wanted to shout her out. And so you can see I inserted the flame button and I'm directly telling people what to do. I'm saying, let's celebrate her with a subtle little arrow going to the flame button so people know to push it. Okay, let me show you a couple other ideas of how I've used this to just engage. So here's another way that I've used the flame button. Just reheated my coffee for the 4th time today. You too, hit the flame. This one got great engagement from the people that saw it. So you can see a bunch of people hitting that flame, and it just kind of keeps going. So I had 123 people view this story, and 19 people engaged with it. So that's about 15% of the people that viewed the story engaged with it. So that's a great story. Here's another example of using the flame button. My husband buys the coolest shoes for my boys, and so here I'm using the animation feature. If you want more info on how to use that, check out my video on animation. But here I'm using the flame button just to give people another way to interact with it. This was again on a weekend, and I really didn't want to have to be writing a lot with people, but I want people to be seeing my story. So I had almost 10% of my followers view this story, and then you can see a bunch of people hitting the flame button. So I had 148 people see the story, 15 people hit the flame button, so I'm again right at 10% engagement of the people that saw my story. Not too bad. Let's keep going. Here's an example of where I'm using the laugh button. And you can see, again, I'm positioning it near that area where I encourage you to position it, just where people are used to tapping on their screen more. My youngest, Jake, is really into books, and so I thought it was funny. He wouldn't put it down during his diaper change and getting his clothes on. Like, he had to look at the book. And so this one, again, got a fair amount of engagement. You can see in this one, I included the little tap tap right near the smiley face to encourage people to tap on it. But again, it's subtle and it's not over the top. Let me show you another example. Here's my oldest, Xavier. He had his first day ever of preschool, and so the heart just makes sense. It's again a way to make the story a little bit more interactive with the heart sticker button. Underneath it, I wrote, "We both survived," and then you can see that I do include a little tapping finger next to the heart, but very subtle. If we look at the view count from this story, 148 people viewed it, and I had 29 people engage with it. So again, I'm looking at about of the people that saw this story, 20% engaged with it, which is great. Again, like, that's what we're looking for, is, are your stories resonating with people? If no one is hitting the like button, if no one's tapping your interactive sticker buttons, your content really isn't that great. Here's another story where I'm using the laugh button, and you can see I do a lot of things that are funny because that's one of the reasons why people are hopping on Facebook to begin with, to laugh. And so in this story, you can see my husband bought me and my son shirts, and I say, "You're killing me, Smalls." And then right next to the interactive button, that sticker button, which is put right in the spot where it should be, I put a tap if you're with me, because I know that there are so many amount of moms that are like, "Oh my goodness, I'm over it, I need a break." And again, this one had 157 people viewing it, and it got great interaction. Never mistake a lifestyle story for a non-business story. People do business with people they know, like, and trust. And then here's one more example of a business-related story. I'm including a testimonial from, again, my membership community, people that are loving the training and content that's in there. And then I use the flame button to be like, "Hey, like, do you want to learn more information? Tell me more if you want to hit that." And I got replies. Like, 173 people viewed this story. That is about 10% of my following, my connections on Facebook, which is good. And then you can see I got people hitting the flame. So it was a chance for me to then interact and engage back. And then I also include the accent next to the flame to draw attention to it. But it isn't too overdone. Be tasteful with this because, again, people don't want to be sold to. So if you're like way too flashy in their face, like, oh my goodness, tap here, it's what I want you to do, it's the only thing that matters. If you're like that, people are going to be turned off to your content.
Hey, was that helpful? Do you have a question about it? Ask it in the comments, and then I want you to head on over to createstoriesthatsell.com where you can join my free Facebook group where I go over all things stories, and I also run a free challenge in that group on how to learn how to create stories that sell. It's great to learn how to use these buttons, but how do we increase our profits using Facebook stories? That's what the challenge is all about, so head on over to createstoriesthatsell.com. In the meanwhile, if you want to check out more of my Facebook story tutorials, go ahead and click on either of these videos. I have them here just for you. Share this video with your team, get them creating fun, interactive stories, and use this to your advantage.